Hey everyone, we are Lights Camera Initiative. This week we are playing more Tales from the Yawning Portal. As last week we successfully completed the Sunless Citadel, we are now moving on to the next adventure, the Forge of Fury. What lies in store? Probably forges. But maybe other stuff too.
Fury.
Maybe some fire.
No, there's actually a complete lack of fury within this adventure. It's really calm and peaceful. I really buried the lead there. No, not at all. I am Mario Avilas, your dungeon master, and going around the table, start with David. Tell the people who you are, and more importantly, how you've been.
I'm David Harper. I've been generally okay, and I'm playing Grenna, the human champion.
Cool.
Okay, I'm Jeff Wagner. I'm playing Thornton. Playing Iron Fist, a hill dwarf. Cleric, wizard. So,
Fucking insane armor class.
yeah. I love that armor class.
Well, you got
But how have you been?
Yeah, good.
Tell the people how you did. You're doing good. Well, you know, that's good. Okay.
Indeed. I could not tell you. One day I'd like to know. I'm Caitlin and I'm playing Amaron, the elf druid.
I'm Sid, still playing Asura for this next adventure we're about to go on, and I'm doing just fine, as well as I can be.
Y'all sound so miserable.
Well,
You'll perfectly fit our Twitter followers.
I keep it off my Twitter.
Yeah, that's fair. And I'm just joking. I love our
Hot
followers,
takes.
obviously.
Hot takes.
Fucking throw it at you all IRL.
Twitter followers.
Yeah, no, we have some.
For Lights Camera Initiative.
I have like 3.
They're not following the look at my ugly ass, let me tell you.
Not following the Do any of them watch the show?
Of our Twitter followers? I would
thought it
hope
was-
some of them.
It's a very good question.
I thought it was just Alex.
Oh, that's true.
And why would you watch the videos of the Twitter account that they post when you can just follow the Twitter account?
Maybe
That's
they,
the important
maybe
thing
they
right
need
there.
some
true.
enticement.
Yeah, I don't know how
Entice.
Twitter
That's all
works.
people care about,
Yeah,
is
how it
liking
works.
your comments.
Hey,
Yeah.
be the draw.
No, they want you to follow back so that you'll like their comments too. And,
And so they'll get followers, and they'll tell their followers, and they'll tell their followers, and so on.
So important. I'm Ed. I am playing Squig, the goblin alchemist, off of Artificer. So I found out there's another alchemist class, which is weird. There's two classes called alchemist.
I don't know.
This will be the last time you will know Squig as the way he is.
Yes.
Oh God!
Yes, tomorrow drops. Spoiler alert, these are filmed a couple weeks in advance. But tomorrow drops new Artificer. Squig's character will change dramatically. But for this last day,
It is familiar ground.
Possibly for the better, but more than likely for the worse.
hey, you don't know, it might be better.
Worse.
Who knows? They may decide to just drop all the alchemical stuff
Yeah,
and just
time
make
the
them
release
spells
changes
and make
to
alchemists a
the
full caster.
You doing good this week?
Yeah, no, pretty alright.
Cool. Well, I'm glad to hear it. I'm sure Alex will be glad to hear it too.
Man, fuck Alex.
Dude.
What's wrong with Alex?
Yeah, well,
I 100% guarantee he just remarked, "Fuck you too."
He likes you, I'm pretty sure. I mean,
Uh,
now.
As opposed to the rest of us? Yeah.
Alex doesn't take that.
Anyway, so having been traveling for a while long north, the group had decided to go with Squig to return the fourth of the fruit that would allow him to heal his master. That was done successfully, and after that you heard rumors of opportunity for wealth up north. Specifically, some vague thing about a dwarf named Durgadin the Black, who was a master smith of some kind. Hooking up with a caravan, traveling north. It's been about almost a month of travel. During this journey, you met an new ally, a fellow caravan goer by the name of Thoradin, who decided to travel with you, having heard some of your exploits in the Sunless Citadel, and your group needing a new member to replace Crom, who had decided to go his own way. And basically now that they are caught
When he
up
died.
to speed, well, whatever happened to
A real
Crom.
big rock fell on him.
Screw you guys.
Well, either way, he's dead to me.
Regardless, the group now with Thorian in tow, and Carac is still here. I forgot to mention earlier, Rob couldn't be here this week because work. It happens. Yeah.
So that's how he's doing.
The group is heading towards this supposed, towards Durgadin's supposed hidden clan hall that 100 years ago was ransacked by orcs, named Kunjakar. It is also known as the Stone Tooth.
Good night.
About 30 miles south of the Stone Tooth is a small town known as Blassingdale. That is where your caravan is going and where you will be stopping and splitting ways, gaining provisions and gathering yourself before heading to the Stone Tooth. Maybe seeking out information as exactly the nature of what's going on. And that is where we will start. As the caravan is heading up the road, I'm gonna basically restate the information they have for you in the book. Durgadin was a master smith who forged blades of surpassing quality and power. Centuries ago, his home was sacked by orcs. Durgadin led the remnants of his clan to the mountains north of the town of Blassingdale and established a small secret stronghold somewhere in the trackless wilderness. From this hidden redoubt, he waged a decade-long vendetta against all orc kind, until his enemies discovered his fortress and attacked it after a long siege. Durgadin and his followers perished, and much wealth was carried away by the conquering horde. But it is said that the deepest and best hidden vaults and armories escaped the loot, and that some of Durgadin's extraordinary blades still wait in the darkness for a hand bold enough to claim one.
Sounds a lot like Moria.
You've come to Blassingdale, a small mining town on the northern frontier, to see if there's anything to these stories. Maps that you have gathered from where you left show that the old dwarf hold lies about 3 days' march to the north of the town. Dark, deeply forested hills rise beyond the town's outskirts. Now, the town of Blassingdale itself is pretty small, mostly a mining town, although there does appear to be guards at the northern and southern entrance of the town, like one each. They greet you as you and the rest of the caravan pass through to the south. From the south.
Are they pretty well armed?
Spear, armor. They look like professional soldiers. It's definitely not some guy they grabbed off the street. Like, this is clearly their job.
It's your turn for guard duty.
Yeah.
Type thing.
They're not militia members. They're soldiers. If you had to guess, mostly what you see as you enter the town is other humans, but there's a smattering of all kinds: elves, dwarves, halflings. It's actually quite a bit bigger town than Oakhurst. Probably about 4 or 5 times bigger. So it's small in that it's not a huge city, but it's definitely not like a quiet little town either. Lots of buildings. It seems like most people in this area are very tanned and heavy. They're clearly working men and women.
So it was a mining town?
Yeah, it's a mining town. Most of the dwarves you see back and forth, give you a Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs kind of vibe to them. Carrying mining picks, working pack mules full of like quarry stones and stuff like that.
So this place is
That is the
definitely
life.
this place is definitely way better off than the Citadel. Or the town around the Citadel.
Well, I mean, Oakhurst is a nice town, but it's just not that big. It's a small town. Whereas this place is a much larger town. You see children running back and forth playing, old men smoking tobacco pipes out on their porches. If they were the other kind, I would say so. I'm not afraid.
What is that?
Talk about
Smoking
Mary
salad.
Jane.
Elf grass, right?
Smoking the halfling's grass.
Halflings.
What else are you? Do you know how boring it would be to be mining all day and not smoking?
Yeah, probably.
No, I
pretty
don't.
dull.
That's fair.
Well,
Yeah, every time she mines, she is always blitzed. What do you do when you enter the town?
Well, I think we definitely probably should try getting some more information. Or do we know the exact location of where we need to go?
Well, you have a map of the area surrounding the Stone Tooth. You could just try to go and find it,
remember?
but you can also hit people up for information.
Yeah,
too.
remember where we went last time for information?
Well,
The bar.
Greta is going to hit up the tavern anyway because it's a new event. Got to start with the PR.
Okay.
She's not interested in gaining information, though if that happens, whatever. I don't care if it's going to be up to somebody who cares about intelligence to really deal with that. Though if somebody says something to me, I'm not going to forget it.
Fair.
Well, you do see an inn in, or you do see a tavern near you. There are about, there are 3 human men, a half-elf man, and a did I say half-elf? Sorry, a halfling man and a half-orc man sitting out on the patio area of it, smoking tobacco pipes and chatting amongst themselves. The sound inside, it's about noon, maybe 1, and it appears pretty busy just from the sounds coming out of it. There is a sign out front that says the Griffin's Nest. Yeah, and it shows a kind of it shows a griffin flying over a nest with a bunch of people inside drinking. It's weird, you're not.
Because that's where the greatest place to drink is in the nest of a griffin.
In and out of character, I suspect a lot of things are just named. I'm sure someone was like, a griffin flew over here once. Griffin's Nest. Yeah.
I think that's just.
That sounds like
I
a
think that's
name.
just a fantasy trope. Is you know the inn in Lord of the Rings is called the Prancing Pony. That doesn't make any goddamn sense either.
I raise you Grass Valley. Where the hell are we? Ah!
Well, would it make more sense
Valley of
for
grass.
There we go.
Treeview?
Oh yeah, Golden Era.
No, I think it's fine. I think that's a fine way to name
What is it,
things.
the miners? The mine shaft? Yeah, it's the mine shaft. Crazy
Little bars
horse.
around here.
Don't you lie to me.
I go to the one.
Nevada Club.
Yeah, I go to the Nevada Club.
I
don't
go
go to these
home.
other bars. Or I go to Cooper's, but that's because I work there. So I.
Yeah, fair.
No, I don't go there. I mean, I have an album called Mario Vilas Live at Cooper's, but I've never been.
Very confusing name.
Very confusing name.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah.
just have to watch the whole thing to find out why. Maybe a few times, maybe buy it, I don't know.
Buy it.
Yeah, I should sell it. People will definitely pay for that. Anyway, so Brenna's
They will
idea
have
is
to
to
see this.
enter the town or tavern. Does anyone go with?
I mean, after like a hearty
Do
like,
I go to
hey
the
to
tavern?
people outside.
Okay, I know everyone also goes to the tavern.
Yeah.
What about these 3? Ashura? Well, you're the one who brought it up, so I assume you're
Yeah.
going. So
It
I
would
guess
definitely be probably a good thing to get some actually cooked food instead of just caravan food. For travel food, I guess.
It actually wasn't super bad. They had so the caravan is almost a year-round caravan. They're basically
Oh!
yeah. So they have cooks. It just depends on how much money you were willing to spend, on food. They actually have prices in the player's handbook for how much gold you spend per day per your lifestyle. So if you live it up, it's about 3 gold a day if you're eating nice. Not royalty level, or not aristocrat level, but the one right below that, like.
Whole sucking pig every day.
Yeah, you're eating good, you're drinking good, you have beds that have all the feathers in it. I think pillows have feathers, whatever. I know about things.
The greatest bed is a flower bed.
Okay,
Old mattresses.
I can't sleep on a flower bed.
Old mattresses.
But I have a
usually
terrible
straw
back.
feathers, right?
Straw feathers and a bunch of other soft crap.
Whatever's dry and relatively soft.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
real life Middle Ages. Gnomes make stuff that's much nicer than actual medieval stuff, and magic can make nicer stuff
Yeah.
too. So they
Okay.
might have like a foam equivalent. I wouldn't be surprised if gnomes had like an auto bed somehow. They make all sorts of weird shit.
Meta magic
show
foam
relaxer.
mattresses. Remembers your spells for you. It's a good fucking mattress.
Alexa, cast magic missile.
Is that how D&D Modern is?
There are, D&D Modern actually does have like computer spells and stuff. There's an Unearthed Arcana called Modern Magic that has like cursing people through like phone lines or like through cell phones and stuff.
Isn't that just hacking?
It's like magic. It's magic.
Remind me to
So
pick up
curse.
some more arrows for the next dungeon crawl. Also put dungeon crawl on my to-do list.
Squig,
I don't mind hitting up the tavern as well. A little bit safety numbers and people to distract people.
and Thoradin.
I'll go down
Okay, you all head into the Griffin's Nest.
Definitely in robes. And
You pass by the men smoking their tobacco pipes, chatting and talking, but
They don't party, hey?
you say hello to them. The half-orc is a large man, probably about 6 feet tall, very muscular, with a grim disposition. Like the rest of them are laughing, and he's kind of, he's obviously with them and like listening to their story, but he just, you get the impression he doesn't laugh much. Is the point I'm trying to make.
So he has like resting bitch face.
Additionally, yeah, kind of.
Stoic.
He also has a big scar that starts at the top of his forehead and goes down, just barely comes to the inside of his eye here, and goes down to like where his lip is. It's healed,
That's a weird.
but no, it's like here to here down.
Oh, okay.
Someone almost killed him.
Yeah, it probably split his head open, but it looks to have healed pretty well. He nods and lets you pass. When you head inside, tables are full of all sorts of people drinking and talking, playing cards, and there's in the corner there's a woman playing a mandolin, people are into it. You suck.
Is it bad I keep forgetting I'm not Taro?
Yeah, a little bit.
They all start to meld together.
The PR starts now. I am definitely going to, once within earshot, not super far away from the barkeep because I want other people to hear it, but like at least a little in the door.
Right.
Grana is going to shout, "Hey, barkeep! Fresh rounds for anybody who needs them!"
You walk
So
in.
fancy.
You shout fresh rounds for anyone who needs them to the barkeep, who is a lady half elf. She looks. She's pretty tan. Blonde, like light, almost platinum blonde hair. You think she might be half wood elf, if you had to guess.
Oh.
Or she just, hangs out in the sun a lot. I mean,
So this place has.
but no, she's clearly half wood elf, and she is currently grabbing something from behind the counter. When she sees you, she says, "Ah, generous are you! A round of applause for our new patron."
I will then add, Greta Brenwell!
You shout your name. I am going to, why don't you give me a charisma performance? But you can roll it with, or actually, never mind.
Advantage for buying everyone a drink.
Everybody really likes you.
21.
With your 21, the rest of the room busts out in applause. A bunch of people start going like this. A bunch of people shout your name back. Some of them actually you actually hear someone say, "The woman of the winding way, come to our town."
Hey!
What are the odds? You hear someone ask someone else, "Who's that?" And he explains,
someone's in
"A
there.
gladiator, and also one of the heroes who braved the sunless citadel. Haven't you heard?"
Yeah.
That
Be
person
sure-
says that. Oh, yes. Sorry.
Be sure to put some of what you save towards your tips.
There's a chuckle. Drinks are passed out. He doesn't say anything yet, but the guy who recognized you definitely gives your group a look over, and you think he recognizes you. He probably knows. Well, I mean, he knows who you are, but you think he recognizes you guys in particular, except for you. Obviously, he doesn't know who the hell you are.
It's the same bartender from before.
No, it's not. It's just
No, that's a different guy. The bartender.
it's a halfling man.
They had to reuse the same sprites,
old,
just change the
bright
color
hair.
scheme.
No, but this lady is a lady
And also,
and not human.
yeah, not a
He got killed. He got reincarnate cast on him, and came back as a lady half elf. Yeah, of course. When you get druids have a spell called reincarnate, it's their raised dead equivalent, and it brings you back in a completely different body. You get reincarnated, so you could, if you died and had a cast on you, you could come back as a dwarven man, as a gnoll woman.
Would you still know it's you?
Yeah, you're still you, and you know all your skills, and
Oh.
your class doesn't change, but
Oh.
your racial stats do because you're a
And
different
all
race.
of your armor and stuff might have to change.
That's pretty.
too.
That's pretty interesting.
Assuming
Yeah,
she's-
it's weird. I've died and got reincarnated once, and I came back as a gnoll. I started as a dwarven paladin,
Oh.
then I was a gnoll paladin. Because Cassidy has a great sense of humor and isn't a dick at all.
Oh, there's not a table you just roll on?
I bet.
No, what I mean is he was like, oh, they only have druids with reincarnate, and then later he told me, I thought it'd be funny if you got reincarnated, so I made it to where there was only a druid around and not a cleric, and I was like, you asshole.
I think that with Paladin of the Ancients being a thing, a Gnoll Paladin would make for a really good
Huh.
Yeah, that's true.
Paladin, just in general. That strikes me as like a thing.
Is the
Hey, everyone, let's be chill.
Defending Gnollish virtue.
Yeah.
Knowledge virtue.
It's a cultural thing.
hey, at least is it? Well,
That's what I'm gonna say.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
stick with that.
Yeah, drinks are passed around.
And when I make my own order, I'll say just pass me whatever it is later.
If you head to the front bar, the woman says, "Hi, what can I get you?"
Stiffest stuff you got.
Oh, really? She reaches to the back, grabs what looks like a red and purple glass, like perfume bottle, is kind of what it looks like. When she opens it, you can definitely smell it. It is pungent. And she pours it out in like a rocks glass and hands it to you. And she says, "And to you, Sir Dwarf, what can I get you?"
I'll have what she said.
She pours some out in another glass and puts it down. And you?
You're tempted.
Don't ask me. That wasn't in character.
Don't talk to me!
I was wondering, do I still have all that goblin wine?
Well, it's been almost a month, so I guess the question
Yeah.
is, do you think you still have all that goblin wine, or do you think you drank it all?
Or fixed it.
No, she's talking about the good
How
stuff.
much had I reasonably grabbed?
Well, you had a bag of holding, so you could have taken all of it.
Oh, damn.
So,
I probably
do you
still
think
have some,
Amaron
actually,
can drink
then.
10 casks of...
Well, he shares.
With like...
Okay, do you think you guys collectively can drink 10 gallon casks of wine over the course of a month, basically?
I hope not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please, no.
Well, how hard do you guys drink? I mean, it's up to you. Individually, does your character like alcohol a lot? In which case, yeah. Does your character not really drink at all? I mean, I'm under the impression that Grenna drinks pretty damn hard. But I don't know about the rest of you. I mean, the stereotype is that dwarves drink hard, but...
We didn't encounter
You are
him.
a cleric
We
of
didn't encounter
Morden,
him till later.
But that's more beer. You might not be that big a wine guy. It also depends on how much your character likes wine. I mean, wine is really common in D&D just because back then it was easier to make wine than, say, like vodka. I don't even know if they had vodka back then. I'm sure they did.
They probably at least had
It's probably
spirits.
different. Of course they have spirits. Anyway, so yeah, it's up to you guys if you still have it or not. If you do, then you can drink that instead.
Oh no, he would have just like handed her a bottle and been like, "Here, this is yours now."
Oh, thank you.
What do you recommend?
Well, we have a nice bottle of some. And she reaches back and finds a bottle, like in the very back, and it's a bottle with Elvish like written on it. And she says, "This is wine I got from the elves up north."
It sounds lovely. Thank you.
Yes, it's quite good, but it can make you a little tired. So perhaps caution. And you. She looks you over, not quite sure what to make of your dragonbornness.
Oh my god. I need to blow my nose.
Okay.
Something to fill my stomach. Something that will fill my stomach.
Food or drink?
Drink. Glass.
She grabs you some mead, sweet like honey, and yeah, it's good.
Pretty heavy drink.
A little bit.
Stouty, hoppy.
Yeah,
Sounds cool.
it's strongly spiced.
Ooh, yeah, that's good.
I tried
It's-
some. It was alright.
It's okay.
There's
There's like a big mead thing.
For the novelty.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest. I didn't like it that much. It's like a. I don't know. It tasted like we put a bunch of spice in a beer. But maybe that was just the mead I had. Watches a bunch of people like, "You don't know shit about mead, Mario. You're so fucking wrong." And I was like,
Well, then you try to be like, I'm afraid you're just gonna have to be there, be my mead guides throughout the rest of these episodes.
suggest me these awesome meads that everyone are having that I certainly didn't have.
As you're watching all these episodes.
She turns
Very-
to you, Squig, and says, "And what can I get you?"
something above medium. Above no.
She says, "Well, we have a good dwarven ale."
Try it.
Yeah, shows you dwarven ale. After ordering drinks, she hands them out to you and says, "So, did I hear correctly? Old Gorion over there said you were the heroes of the sunless citadel?"
You are looking at one and the same.
Oh. Well, what brings you up north?
We are seeking Out of character, Black Durham?
Durgadin the Black.
Durgadin the Black's
Although he's... Oh, sorry.
hidden treasure.
Oh, you've come for the stone tooth. And you
Yes.
have.
And I myself plan to conquer one of his fabled blades.
Oh. Well, if anyone would do it, it'd be the heroes of the Sunless Citadel. You do know of the danger, correct?
Somewhat. But perhaps you could regale us on what dangers I will be surmounting with ease.
Orcs. They rampage through the countryside, taking whatever they can find and killing anyone who gets in their way. They take some of them as prisoners. And try to ransom them back to the smaller towns in the area, but not all of them can pay. And the ones who don't pay, they don't come back.
How vile. Are they perhaps special orcs?
I wouldn't know. I'm no expert. You could ask Krendar. He's just outside. He might know.
The formidable looking one we passed on the way in.
Yes, the sergeant.
Perhaps. Perhaps we shall.
If you're going to be heading there anyway, then you might also wish to talk to Sir Miles. He's the mayor.
My son!
Oh,
What?
Miles. Don't worry about
Okay.
it.
It sounds like at the very least one of us has expressed interest. Tell me, where can we find this mayor? Where does he live?
She basically gives you directions to where he works. As you drink your drinks, and then do you turn to leave?
There'll be a bit of mingling, and I'll be leaving once people have done, because I'll hold, once people have done whatever they want to do in here, and of course, once I've squared away the tab, then yeah.
Okay, while Grenna is talking to the woman who, I assume at some point you exchanged names, she introduced herself as Cyril Bakedown, the owner of the inn. What is Thornton doing during that same time?
Just drinking and observing the crowd and stuff.
Okay. You drink, it's good. The crowd, a lot of the crowd seems to be watching you guys in particular. So it's a little weird trying to look at the crowd when a bunch of them are looking back at you.
Especially since.
But after a little bit of time, they start to, pay more attention to themselves.
Especially since they don't know me.
Yeah, that's true. And the woman playing music, who's quite good.
The Hero Scissors plays, and then a dwarf is here. What the hell? Who's that?
Well, for a lot of them who don't know the specifics, they might just assume you were one of them.
Yeah.
Emeron, what does Emeron do during the same time?
My first instinct is to say that I want to make uncomfortable eye contact with everybody who's looking at me.
Okay. You make uncomfortable eye contact with everyone who is looking at
Stare
you.
back.
Now, for most people, this gets them to look away, but there
Nice.
is like a There is an elven woman who, like, when she looks at you and you stare uncomfortably back at her, she like starts to look around and like points to herself, and like starts to like get up and walk over to you unless you like look away.
Let's see where this goes.
Okay, she walks up, maybe a little nervously. Do you have insight, like as a trained skill?
No.
No? Okay. Yeah, you're not sure. And she
I
walks
don't know
up
shit about
and
anything.
she says, yes?
People, yeah.
Did you want to talk to me?
Did you want to talk to me?
You
stared first.
She points to the old gray-haired halfling And she says, Gorion said you were one of the heroes from the Sunless Citadel. I'd never met a hero before. I'm sorry if I bothered you with all my staring. She starts to stammer more and she gets slightly red in the face.
Oh, it's alright. I understand.
Do any of us else hear this conversation?
You're all sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
So.
Maron, why do you have to make people so uncomfortable?
One of my many talents. So this
fucking
conflict.
dragon
She says,
tongue
no,
just comes out.
I'm not uncomfortable. I thought you wanted to talk to me. You know, I'm sorry. And she starts to like turn and leave very quickly to sit down.
No, don't worry.
We're all just gonna.
It's a new experience having admirers. I understand. Like in the business, sometimes this happens. I remember the first time I didn't know really what to do, but
Oh, it very much is a new experience. I'm a little more used to being told to go away or getting banished.
heaven help the admirer, as I have dubbed her, if she is within arm's reach. We're gonna like
Used to
call her like closer.
She's starting to walk off, but Grenna grabs her by the arm and she immediately like freezes and does not resist if you pull her back towards you guys.
And push her towards Emerald and will say, I guarantee she's just as interested in answering your questions as you are in asking them. And like,
She?
Yeah,
The girl.
A man.
He's,
He's
Oh,
actually.
he's like,
okay.
yeah.
nope, I did forget. I just tricked you at that point.
It actually is still supposed to be if people want to play along in character to not knowing.
Not be obvious.
Yeah.
Well, this woman
It's
doesn't.
not apparent.
Just a Maron.
This woman doesn't really know. You think she might suspect that you're male, but
Elves.
or she, Well, I mean, elves are fairly androgynous, and before anyone buffs in here, and it's just like, oh, that's such a stereotype. There are manly elves. I'm not saying there aren't. I'm saying their features are
feminine.
their features tend to be fairly androgynous, which is fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with androgyny. Yeah, I like Final Fantasy as much as the next person. Cecil wears lipstick. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's
The point I'm trying to make.
It's the long hair and slender frames. That's
It's the eyes and
Am I the only one
they have delicate
The
features.
cheek
Am I the only
bones
one that probably didn't
Yeah.
really match
cheekbones, definitely.
What?
the color?
and those childbirthing
Of Cecil's
hips.
lipstick? I mean, purple fits. I mean, if he's gonna wear lipstick,
It's more
rather than
show.
pink, that'd be
You know
weird.
what? He can wear whatever color he wants to wear because the important thing when you're putting on makeup is that it's fun for you.
It's true.
To hell with everybody
I mean,
else.
I wouldn't sword fight a bunch
I
of
wouldn't
demons
know.
with makeup on, but that's because I'd be worried about it getting everywhere.
Yeah.
To be fair, at the Final Fantasy Paladins.
Also, he wears a helmet, so I guess it's not that big a deal either way. You know what? Regardless,
That's
Hey,
besides.
it worked out in actual 21.
yeah, it did.
Meanwhile, while we make
Panic.
these
So, since you basically pushed her back towards Emerald, she says, so, did you really fight a vampire?
No, it was a tree that grew out of a vampire or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds scary. I could never do anything like that.
It was an incredibly deadly tree, and I don't recommend doing anything like that. Unless you have, an entire group of people with you who are very strong.
Oh, well, yes, I suppose.
Honestly, I don't do much fighting. I'm more of a healer, I suppose.
Oh, you're a healer?
Mm-hmm. Or I try to be.
Well, I've never seen magic before. That must be nice.
More of a healer.
just accept your fate and die.
If she wishes to see magic, maybe you could show her some.
Which
Well,
one?
you are like the best wing woman. Isn't it?
Granted,
Oh,
under
there-
the assumption that this is the same thing as an athlete. And it's just assuming.
Oh, I actually can. I can just use a good berry.
I don't think that's very noticeable.
Well, no, because berries just appear in my hand.
Do they? I think you grab like a thing of berries and like.
No,
enchant
it
them.
says up to
So
10
you're
berries
gonna-
appear in your hands.
So you're gonna cast Goodberry?
Huh.
Okay. You show the woman magic, creating 10 magic berries in your hand. She looks and says, "Wow, that's incredible. How did you do that?"
Magic.
Well, if you wanted to learn something like that, you should find a druid circle.
Oh, Druid Circle. I don't know about that.
Oh, they're quite nice, actually. It's...
Go out into the woods with the bears. They're friendly.
No, taking up
They are if you have animal friendship.
Well, yeah, I don't think this lady does.
take up just a gold coin. It is a nice trick, sleight of hand, to try to slip it into like a card. But as long as you're good at something, you can make it look like anything.
But this is actually...
Yeah.
This isn't sleight of hand. This actually just happened.
Oh no, I'm not
You're
saying.
talking magic isn't real? I'm not messing with this woman. It's all charlatans. You literally cast spells. I know. I'm just a douche.
And you'll be that one D&D character that refuses to believe in magic. It's all just
Oh,
parlor
God.
tricks.
Hey, if you don't believe in the force, it won't affect you.
That is
That's
not how
Really,
it
it
That's
seems
how
like we're all
smugglers
dying
work.
right now.
Real talk, the DC is not whether or not you dodge the spikes, it's whether or not you can disbelieve the spikes.
We're not,
Girls that disbelieve this conversation.
we're not dealing with supernatural.
Oh, just literally be a negative psychic.
Never mind, it's a dex save and not a mental save.
My beliefs are stronger
I meant-
than your magic.
No. I meant to say for those that aren't magically inclined.
Well, once you're level 6 and you get that bonus to saves, your belief kind of is stronger than their magic.
Oh yeah.
A little bit.
Oh, and your saves get freakish.
Yeah. You chat with her a little more. She, tell her about how cool magic is. She,
Without revealing anything I'm not supposed to.
okay.
And for what it's worth, if you let on that you're interested in hooking up, I am. Like, I thought it was just a friendly
Where?
thing, but if you signal,
You're at it in.
you're getting.
Yeah. Well, you also have to
Once.
remember, Amaron's name may have a base of something.
Are you calling her dumb?
What?
Call her
We'll
dumb.
cross that
I
bridge.
have not.
No, it's
That is Caitlin. Caitlin has said Amaron's kind of dumb.
We'll deal with that as a thing. I'm
He's
just
a
saying.
little clueless.
I'm just saying, if you signal that you are also romantically interested, I am there to help.
And hey,
Because being a celebrity, I am also aware of that.
What makes you think he'd stop me? When has he ever stopped me from doing anything stupid?
Would be true. I mean, it would get you away from
Yeah,
him
that's
for a
a fair
while.
point.
He
Regardless,
usually just stands in the background and shakes his head.
what
I'm not
does
going to stop you,
what
but
does
I will.
Ashura
You cannot stop me from being disappointed in you.
what does Ashura do during all this?
I don't know. Everyone else seems to be part of the conversation. I don't really have anything to
No, I just threw that
intersect
in
into the
there.
conversation, really.
Well, yeah, if you just want to follow on with the conversation, that's fine. I'm giving you the option to do something. You don't have to.
I was thinking of what I
Get
could
into
say,
a drinking
but
contest with a random patron.
not really anything I have to add on.
Okay, fair enough. And Squig, aside from your little aside, what do you do?
Uh,
at the bar?
Just pretend like you're too
Probably
busy drinking
just
the entire time.
bust out
I'm very hungry.
one of the books and just start writing just alchemical equations, just working on shit, basically.
You do some writing. After a little bit of time, you guys leave. One admirer, richer, I guess.
Dun, dun, dun.
As you head out,
She's so impressed by our magic and strength.
She goes out to the woods to try to find druids and doesn't come back. Where are the druids?
he's got to assume the worst thing.
I
You
would
find
really hope
Sergeant-
she'd ask around about where to find a druid circle.
Yeah, I think she'd be better off that way.
Sergeant
Yeah.
Grendar is still
Maybe.
outside when
Maybe
you
get to
leave. Still smoking his pipe.
But she did not sound interested.
Well, then,
I'm
we're
ready.
to stop by.
If
I
we
will.
wanted to save time, we could divide and conquer. Like, part of the group says talk to him.
Right now, we're
part
just
of us
looking
talk
for
to the mayor.
whatever
Just
information.
how
we
late
can
in the
get.
day is it?
Nah, I'd like to be involved in both, though.
Like 1:32.
Oh, okay.
You haven't been here that long.
Oh, okay.
So,
I will work. Hey! We're going to be traveling around the area, searching for fortune, and I have my eyes set on conquering fabled Durgan Blackguard. Out of character, I forgot the name, I'm sorry.
Durgan.
Blade myself, and we've heard you know the area a fair amount.
Oh yeah, where'd you hear that?
From inside, though I intuited by your formidable look that you are someone who might know their way around regardless.
I know my way around the guard. I protect this town.
Oh, very nice. Good work. I never should have been inside. I bought rounds for people.
Yes, well, it's fine.
We heard that the orcs were a problem. Have they been a problem for the town? This town.
Yes. But if you want to talk about the bounty for the orcs, you should talk to the mayor.
That
If
is-
someone inside told you that I would have special insight into the orcs' nature,
No.
then they are mistaken.
We mentioned the area we were going to be traveling to, and they said it would be best to consult you. I assumed perhaps you had traveled out that way. I did not know you were part of the town guard.
They assume that because I'm a half-orc, I would know. And they're wrong. I haven't met any of the northern orcs.
I should hope that the barkeep did not make such a mistake.
No.
Yeah, I've
It's a common mistake around here.
unfortunate. I've known a great many orcs myself. As diverse as any other lot. Or so I have found.
He seems to regard your statement with a certain amount of skepticism, but doesn't say anything. And he says, yes, well, that's all. I'd rather get back to what I was doing.
So of course, out of character, that doesn't need to be the cap if one of you has a question, but out of character like that. I will be.
He might already be bothered.
I'm fine with making.
Yes,
a
but
list
don't
on
think
there.
I'm trying to control anybody else's inquiries.
Well, he already said he doesn't really know anything, so.
I was simply mentioning due to guarding the town, if they're a problem, might have run into them.
Small raiding groups. They're not brave enough to attack us directly. The surrounding settlements, though, they tend to get hit harder. They're not as defended. A lot of settlements have been abandoned and have moved here. That's part of how we got so big.
15 numbers.
May I ask how you got that scar?
Granna is grateful because she was internally curious. Who did not ask?
Take a small step back due to having bad
How'd
experience.
you lose
Repeat
your
that
arm?
question.
That's exactly what you're not going to ask.
What? I didn't hear what she said.
How do you lose his arm?
Oh,
You ask how he got his scar, and he says, the end of a blade.
from another orc or something else?
No.
Hmm.
From a human.
Oh, damn.
We were being trained. He took exception to my,
Oh,
he took exception to me.
well, I hope you got him good.
He got the worst of it.
Okay. Okay.
He continues to smoke his pipe, and if you don't have any questions for him, you head towards the mayor's office.
Oh, but I do.
Oh, you do.
Questions you're willing to ask.
I love how he's clearly annoyed with you guys, and you're like, excuse me, Orc Man, I have more questions for you. Tell me about your exotic orcish culture. I told you!
He's half orc, right?
Actually, No,
Well, I was mostly joking.
the bounty. Do you know if it's for wiping out all the orcs?
So, well, unless Miles changed it, it's 25 gold per orc, dead or alive.
What do you do to them if they're still alive?
Interrogate them, try to find out where the base is, and then kill them. They wouldn't do any better for us.
Orcs aren't particularly known.
If you don't mind me
Angry.
inquiring,
Almost like
I can't help but
goblins.
wonder how you stand on the
No, I'd
whole
imagine they're like the Grove.
orcs on their own. If you feel any
These orcs are raiders.
I can understand not feeling any connection towards them, whereas
I didn't grow up with them.
oh,
I grew up here. But even if I had, if you choose the life of a raider, there's only one way it's going to end.
fair enough. Just a little surprised that have you gone for any of these orc bounties yourself? Seems like if you're
I'm the sergeant. This place needs to be protected. I can't leave to go bounty hunting.
that is fair.
Maybe if I was younger, but yeah. It's a fool's errand anyway. You might capture one or two, but
Fool's errand. What makes you say that?
every once in a while they'll come back with a dead orc, another dead orc, but they keep raiding. The numbers must be great, or they're getting reinforcements from somewhere. Without a concentrated effort from a large group. Well, it's like I said, fool's errand. Still, the mayor thinks he can get rid of all his problems with money, so I say let him keep doing it.
Well,
He should take that money and petition the Lord to send his army down to retake the hold that way. But it's too expensive.
more expensive than constantly paying random adventurers per head.
Yes, well, believe it or not, it is cheaper that way.
I don't imagine many come back.
I think he's hoping that once enough orcs die, it'll scare them off.
And if it so happens that some people lose their lives while taking a few orc bounties and can't come back to redeem it, there's a potential to not have to pay at all for some potential removal.
She makes a good point.
Unfortunately, politics are the same everywhere. Ineffectual, compared to one's own personal strength.
Hey,
He
Look.
smokes his pipe.
a group could be a really good thing. I mean, sometimes it's where you find a home and acceptance, and they show you great things.
A home
A
is
collective
different.
doesn't have to be bad.
Oh no, collectives are wonderful, and they give you strength.
But
It's
collectives
simply
often
politics
have-
that does not.
There's always going to be somebody in a position of power, and they're going to have to engage in politics. You're not always going to get the best leader, but sometimes you can.
Tell that to the
I
orcs.
suppose.
They do all their politics with an axe blade. And yet they seem to be more organized than us. Funny how that works.
Well,
Quite the puzzle.
it's the form of politics
Yep.
that works for them.
If there is a head upon this monster, we shall cut it off.
We are
I have
particularly
odd
good at
obsession with heads.
So are you heading to the mayor's office now? Or are you going to keep bothering me with work?
We stay here for a few hours chatting with this guy that does
I'm
not
on
want
my
to listen to us.
Me alone.
No.
Okay, you head to the mayor's office, the office of Sir Miles Barrick. Out front, it's a medium-sized building. Out front, there is behind an oak desk a raised chair and a gnome woman with like bronze framed glasses and a chain. who seems to be looking over some sort of document that she's like has her nose pressed up to and is currently writing something. As you walk in, she says, "You have an appointment?"
I'm afraid that we are recently arrived. Is there a special procedure for heroes to make an appointment that we would go about normally?
If you don't have an appointment, you can't see Siberic. What you said, heroes?
Yes. On the off chance that a normal
You hear about the
person's
orcs?
procedure and a hero's
Yes.
Yes, actually.
Oh,
Amongst other things.
you should have said so. Hold on. She gets out of the chair, which has to the desk clearly isn't made for her. So when she pushes the chair away, it has like a weird crank thing where it goes, and then she gets down out of it, and she walks and opens the door to a back room, and you hear her say, "Siberic, more people are here about the bounty." And you hear a voice says, "Good, send them in." She walks out and she says, "Siberic will see you now." She gets back in the chair and pulls herself back in.
Notice she's like staring super hard at her thing, digging around back, pull out a magnifying glass, and while we're here, this will probably help.
You have a magnifying glass?
No, wait, magnifying glass are like 1,000 gold, right?
That's a spyglass.
Jeez. I might miswrote something, maybe.
Okay, well, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
I like how you offer it, and then when you're asked, "Do you have one?" You're like,
I might have miswrote it.
Anyway,
Hey, I write chicken scratch, man. Sometimes I can read
clear.
it.
You can't read your own writing.
offering
Sometimes.
things you don't know if you have. That's my point. Like, that's weird.
I'm pretty sure. You go back, and in the back room is a human man, about 5.5 feet tall, 60, 70 pounds overweight, big old squirrel cheeks. His hair is very thick, black and slicked back, and has he himself has a scent of why doesn't M1 give me survival?
Oh jeez.
Pitfall.
24.
Gumtree. He's definitely using some sort of Gumtree solution to slick his hair back. And keep it in place.
This isn't my son.
What?
No. He's probably around 40, 45. And he is currently pulling out a cigar and putting it in his mouth as he says to the group of you, "Come in, sit down." There's like a couch and there are some chairs, and he lights up his cigar
Whichever takes
as
the
he
least amount of
says
effort to hop on.
to the group of you. "So you hear about the bounty?
Yes.
Good. I've been looking for capable men, and you look like just the kind of men I need."
Well, I hope so.
The orcs have been a problem. The bounty's 25 per head. Attached or not, it's up to you. It will be difficult, though. A week ago, we captured an orc. He told us that their base is at the Stone Tooth. So that's where you're going to want to go.
And has there been mention of a leader of some kind, perhaps?
No.
Have
I would assume it's just the biggest and meanest orc.
Have any of the orcs had special distinguishing marks on any of them, perhaps? Or a particular type of weapon, maybe?
Do you think that
No.
we'd probably have to see that yourself.
But I couldn't tell one orc from the other.
Well, that's fair enough.
Do you guys have a number or a count of how many orcs you've seen in a group?
No.
Hmm.
Oh, they mean like in a group like
But
out of character, do you mean like the entire orc force or like in a raiding group?
Raiding group, right?
It says they usually travel in groups of 4.
4. Okay.
But sometimes it's more or less.
Ah. Got him outnumbered. He's a raiding group.
Seems pretty
Yes,
basic.
well.
This might take a while.
It will. But the reward is not insubstantial.
25 ahead.
25 gold per month.
We've heard that they kidnap villagers. Do you have any idea how many are currently kidnapped?
No. They attempt to ransom them out to the smaller towns in the area. They haven't kidnapped anyone from here. Although ones that are rescued often come here, seeking the safety of our town and its militia.
It seems fairly capable from what we've seen.
If you refer to the sergeant, yes, he's a capable man. A bit sour, but capable.
Perhaps it would be beneficial to talk to some of these people who have escaped or been successfully ransomed back. Perhaps we could find out something from them.
Not gonna lie, I thought you were gonna suggest talking to him again. For like half a second.
Perhaps we should go back and talk to him again.
Business.
I feel like we haven't exhausted our options with him. We have yet to get the fuck off.
It's been like a
We need to go back.
whole 10 minutes since we last talked to you. He's our friend now.
He says, yes, well, if that's all.
Mm.
Do you have any other questions?
How many have you hired so far?
Well, we haven't hired anyone. There's been a bounty.
Yeah. Well, how many have you seen? Too
Prospects.
many?
People?
Yeah. Too many people? Yeah.
5, 6, usually with an orc head or 2. Sometimes caravans will come through the area. The orcs will attack them, and they'll bring 5 orcs' heads as bounties.
No, did he actually mention that the group is near where we're going? I might have misheard you.
The Stone Tooth is exactly where you're going. So
Okay.
the orcs are a problem where you're going.
Conveniently, on the way.
Yeah.
Is there anything more you can tell us about the area they're in?
Says, I've never been myself, but the rumors say that it's an old dwarven stronghold before orc siege killed them all and left. Very occasionally we have adventurers come through seeking Durgan's treasure. I would assume that's why you were here.
Well,
I'm here because they're here.
You would in part assume correctly.
Perhaps you should talk to Baron Alphon then.
Just following you.
He has a
I would be
particular interest in Durgan's blades.
I would be severely
Is that
disappointed
the-
if we
was that the
found no
old,
gear in this place.
Scrappy guy from the bar that the
No.
fan was talking about?
Congratulations, the dungeon called the Forge.
We must
Well, that
Fable
referred to
Fabled for a
Forge.
hidden treasure that a guy that would make weapons and our arms and armor
So,
far surpassing any other.
Are there
Nothing.
other dangers
Nothing.
besides the orcs?
It was empty. Prominent, dangerous.
I would say the orcs are the
They
biggest one.
really did take it all.
It does that thing where someone else took it, so you have to go find that person.
But inside Kundrakar, there could be anything.
But it takes forever to get to the center.
Okay.
Forever in the boss
So,
fight.
you guys are going to go and talk to Baron Alphon then?
If he
I would
gives,
like to.
if he gives us information about where he is.
Yeah, he tells you where Baron Alphon is.
Alright.
Baron owns a nice manor on the northern side of town. Upon entering, or upon approaching the door and knocking, a older man, probably 60 or 70, wearing a like a butler. It's not really a tuxedo, but he's
Servant
clearly a
outfit.
servant, but like a a nicer servant. Says, "Welcome. Do you have an appointment with the Baron?"
I'm afraid not. We are recently arrived after saving the town of Glenvale.
Oakhurst.
I forget. Oakhurst. And we haven't quite had time to.
We've come at the suggestion of the mayor, actually.
Oh, what for? So I can tell the Baron your business.
Potential. No, double checking. Just because, has anything been mentioned that we're trying to get his blades for ourselves, or we're just looking into it because it's potential for glory?
I don't know. Why are you asking me?
Well, the initial thing that sent us here was just information. This could.
I gave you guys information. What you guys want to do with it is up to you. I can't say your motivations.
I'm here because you guys are here.
So just say your thing.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's going to have a problem.
Potentially seeking more information and might be willing to work something out with. So they used to belong to a man named Durgan.
Yes, I will get the Baron right away. Come inside. After like a couple minutes, a well-dressed, 50-year-old, red-haired, although it's slightly balding at the top, man in like purple robes, but like a bathrobe, not like a wizard robe. Comes down the stairs. He says to the group of you, "Hello. I am Baron Alpha. I've heard that you are interested in Durgaden's blades, yes?"
Yes, very much so. And well met to you. I am Grenna Branwelt, and these are my companions and fellow heroes of Oakhurst.
Ah, yes. The heroes who bested the citadel.
The one and the same.
Well, it sounds like you're exactly the people I need. He reaches out to shake your hand.
And it will be taken. Two
Oh, fine, don't
hands
shake
heartily.
my hand. That's cool, whatever. Off my hand.
You know what that
Too
reminds
good
me
for it.
of is the first session, which there was no footage of, where Amara kept trying to shake everyone's hands and they kept blowing away. Feel the scorn that I felt.
Fair enough. I will, the Baron says, "I'll get right to it. I have an interest in these blades, and I'm willing to pay well for their return." He says, 20 gold per blade for each of you. And if you can come back with a detailed map of the, detailed maps of the Stone's Tooth and the inside of Durgaden's Keep, that's an extra 100 gold to each of you. If there's blades you would like to keep for yourself, that is fine and understandable. But obviously I will not pay for a blade I do not receive.
That is fair.
I was curious.
Makes sense.
I've heard tales of these blades and the difficulty to conquer them.
Yes, Durgan was a mastersmith, without peer. He said that his blades were... Yes. Well, unfortunately, in the end, he was not enough to save him from the orcs, but still, I'd like to see one all the same.
So you do not have any, but you're a potential collector.
Yeah, he's just a collector. He's a rich guy who wants these swords because they're cool.
When you're rich,
But I
you
mean, like,
collect
eventually,
swords.
he doesn't have any current.
No.
Okay, so it's still the potential all 7 looking for. Right?
There weren't an exact number.
Oh, okay. I thought for some reason I heard 7 at some point.
Yeah, so Do you have any other questions for him?
Can I look around the room?
Sure. It's a nice room. It has nice stuff. I mean, he's a rich dude.
Fingerprints on everything.
Anything collectible wise, as in that he's collected that looks interesting?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's art pieces. There's he seems to have like a weapon and armor fix. The halls are like lined with dwarf crafted plate. It seems he has an appreciation for dwarven smithing.
I mean, dwarven smithing is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, everyone has their great smiths, but he's definitely a dwarf smithing weeb. You could probably talk on and on about dwarven smithing techniques and the superior ability of dwarvish steel
Compared to
And Greg
human steel.
could listen to a great deal of it.
I could.
Oh, you are an expert. You could absolutely talk with him about the
That's true.
about
That's
dwarven
true.
smithing.
That's true. That's also true.
He
Do
reads.
you want to
He
look through his
reads all
stuff?
Yeah.
dwarven
Yes, he does
inscriptions
a lot.
by himself with no translators.
Oh, you want to school?
What are you going to say to him? How are you going to ask him?
I see you got interesting things, especially dwarven made. May I take a look?
Oh, yes, of course. They're the centerpieces of my collection. I'm fascinated with dwarven smithing techniques.
Yeah.
The fusion of superior technique and functionality creates a beauty in and of its own. It's not like elven smithing where it's all frilly and detail laden.
Right.
He turns to you. If Emron looks offended as he says this, he says,
No.
I'm sorry, it's mostly a personal
He
preference."
probably doesn't look offended
Oh.
because he's just sitting there with his goddamn plants like, yeah, fucking elven shit.
Fair enough. When you look through, give me a intelligence plus Smith's tools proficiency. So intelligence plus proficiency check. But because it has to do with dwarven stuff, you can roll it with advantage
Oh.
because you are an expert.
Well, I'll take
Well.
16. It's 16
Plus 4.
so 5, right? Because
Yeah.
intelligence is, yeah, okay. So 21.
With your 21, you can tell that a lot of these pieces are both the genuine article and well made. However, one piece he has, a piece of armor, is a convincing, but nonetheless fake suit of dwarven plate armor.
Oh man.
I'll ask him, may I ask how you got this piece here?
He says, "Oh yes, it was at an auction. I paid top coin for it."
Say nothing.
Yeah, let's say
Time to go.
Or flex on him.
Like,
Clearly, you don't know that much about dwarven culture.
He's willing to pay me. Why would I do that?
But this raises the question: if a Japanese person corrected a weeb about something weeby, would the weeb disagree with them?
you just walk up to. You just
We
walk.
can get the
It also
dwarven person right now.
It depends on how you put it.
You can also be polite about it. You can also not say anything.
Walk up to the armor, ding it in one spot.
No, it's good. Like it's not. It's just not.
It is.
There are very small, almost unnoticeable things that show that it was not made by dwarven smiths, and it's a fake, a convincing one, but it's a fake.
Those sneaky elves.
It would have been funny if he bought it from an elf.
You might have.
A very angry, offended elf who's like, oh, you think elf stuff isn't as good, huh?
Well,
Shows what you know. You
uh,
can. Yeah, it's up to you. You're the one that noticed it. You can. It's well,
We
you're the
don't
only
know.
one that
He's
knows
on
right
it.
now.
He's
Yeah.
on it.
I'm a smith, and I made plenty of stuff, and I'm sorry to tell you this, but this does not look. This has details that are not dwarven, or
You're saying the armor is fake?
yeah, it's a convincing.
Show me. Are you gonna point it out to him?
Yeah.
I want you to give me a charisma persuasion check, but you can take this with advantage since you know what you're talking about and can prove it.
Like 16. And I don't add anything Christmas, so that'll be based. Oh, 17.
Yeah,
Oh.
there you go.
He'll point it out and he says, "Oh, you're right. How could I have not seen this before?"
It's very convincing. I, without knowing my trade.
His hand clenches and he says, "That bastard." Thank you for telling me about this. The next auction he puts on, I'll make sure to show everyone how much of a fraud he is. He'll be ruined.
We could do that.
Well,
Selling fakes.
it's generally not nice to sell fakes like that, especially when you overprice it.
It'd be his own fault. It'd be his own fault for getting caught. If you make a fake, make sure you don't get caught with
You
it.
say on character?
Yes.
Oh my god.
It is
Unless
illegal.
the
He
fake
says
had
you're
them
a,
full, too.
He says, you said yours. I says, you must be quite skilled to notice something like that. Perhaps I can requisition some work from you. Once you're done with.
Oh,
This is once you're done with the dwarven ruins.
get that top dollar.
Yeah. I'll, if I don't have anything planned later on, or per se after this, then yeah.
Thank you.
If we notice any like ingots or anything, we're sure to take them with us for selling.
Break all this
purposes.
guy's pots.
Take everything. No, for in the place.
But break all his
For
pots.
Yeah, so
Take
did you have
everything.
anyone else in town you
that is
wanted
worth
to
money.
talk to before heading out?
And I'm gonna cut his grass.
It might
I
be
think we
worth-
got our bounty set up.
It might
so.
be worthwhile to chat with like one of the escaped people because they mentioned sometimes
See, the problem is
people are arrested
finding
come
them.
here.
Yeah.
Finding them is going to be hard. Like it might take a couple days to track one down.
Nah,
Because it's not a small town.
I'm not super invested. I just thought I'd bring it up.
We could try finding a historian or something because we might be able to find somebody that might have a potential map of the layout for the place.
If there was someone with a map, the mayor would have been able to get it. Or the Baron would have been able to get it. Because he was throwing money around being like, maps, and everyone was like,
Do we,
no.
do we have material to
Basically,
jot
every
down a
person.
map?
Yeah, you guys can
Yeah,
grab
okay.
you can grab stuff to draw a map on.
Yeah,
And, I will
better
know
make
that-
sure we're
that
supplied for this one.
Basically, at least according to the stories, every dwarf who was in the hold was killed to the last person. That's why there's no
Damn.
maps. Yeah, the orcs went in and killed everyone.
Jesus.
Why? I can't help but wonder.
It was like a big siege. It took months. It was supposedly it was an epic battle, and the orcs came out ahead.
Hey, a dwarven stronghold, if you could actually get your hands on one, anybody trying to attack would be kind of hard pressed.
So you're gonna
Yeah,
go
which
get
is why it's
some
even more.
maps,
It's
cartography stuff. If there's any other last minute supplies you
Yeah,
would like
general
to
supplies,
grab,
Food,
How far
drink,
away
potions,
is
yada yada.
the place from the town? How far away is
2 days by horse, 3 days on foot.
Okay.
It would be faster, but the problem is it's like forested and stuff, so it's not just like a straight ride.
And it could take
But you all
days
have
searching that
horses,
place.
I think. So,
True.
yeah, you can get there in 2 days if you want. You also have that cart. And the other stuff,
I think I'll ride in the cart.
well, it's up to you. If you don't have a horse, you can ride in the cart, because you do have a cart with horses to pull it.
Isn't Squig small enough to share a horse?
Yeah, probably.
Don't like riding on horses.
Uh,
So-
so,
like riding.
I'm going to call a break. When we get back, the journey to the Stone Tooth. However, as you travel north from the mining town of Blazingdale, you pass through brooding pine forests and deep vales. From where you stand now, you catch sight of a tall, steep hill that rises to a prominent bare knob of rock, the Stone Tooth. A thin spire of smoke rises from some unseen point high on the hill slopes, and you can make out a steep, narrow road that runs back and forth across the face of the mountain. The whole area.
Loads of doors.
Try not to look at stuff. See the image though?
Yeah.
That is roughly the area around the stone tooth.
Okay, we're at spot roughly.
You're in here, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, so how do you approach the mountainside?
We forgot to ask, like, where around the mountain.
Gaily forward?
Yeah.
Where around the mountainside they're supposed to be based.
Well, there is a road leading up the mountainside. That's the road I described. The road that runs back and forth across it. There's also smoke coming out of the top of it through some sort of vent of some kind. You also see in the area there are some lakes a couple hundred yards to the east of the mountain. Yeah.
Man, if only we had the ranger who could potentially find orc tracks.
Well, if the orcs are
You
around
say you
here,
wanted to ask Carac what he sees with his elf eyes?
like
I
if,
could ask you, but
if the orcs are
Well,
around here,
Carac is still there. If you want to have him try to find you like a trail of some kind, if you want to go off
And
the
remember,
road.
he's just sick in the back.
I wouldn't bother.
I can roll
If the orcs are
survival,
around,
too.
we'll probably run into them naturally.
well, yeah. But if we
I mean,
sneak
logically,
up
he'd
on
be
them-
leading you through the thing.
Instead of
Otherwise, you
getting
have a
stuck
chance of
up
getting
on.
lost.
Be leading.
I can find our way too.
So, yeah.
Also, it might be better just an ambush.
Do you want to look for tracks? Because right now you're going along the road.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
Give me
they
some
go
up.
on the road. We should be just on it.
12.
Can I roll survival?
Do you want it?
If you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Jesus Christ, are you doing that thing again?
24.
What?
It came with my
Okay.
background, I think. Yeah. Background.
That's true.
Oh, but you're not as wise as me. It's okay.
24.
That's fine.
Living made all grown.
I'm almost at capacity here. You leave me alone.
You both find that down the as you go up the road, there is a track of 4 booted humanoids that came down within the last day and headed into the forest. If you follow that trail, it joins older tracks in the woods, and and it keeps going. Do you want to follow it?
Is it going towards where we're supposed to be?
No, it's going away. These tracks came from the mountain and are going down the road and then off the road into the forests.
So, if these are orc tracks, they might be on the hunt. We
Yeah.
can try and head them off.
It might be ready. Oh, wow.
This was a day ago.
Too late.
What's up to you?
Follow where the tracks came from.
That would be continuing up the road. Up the mountain. Is that what you guys want to do?
That's
Following
where we're
the.
supposed to be going, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can do whatever you want.
Well, I'm more thinking of
Can I-
if we find like a camp of them and in the numbers, then that's less danger in the area.
Yeah.
This is true.
Also, I can get some sweet bounty out of it.
Well, we have to go back to the town.
Well, when we go back,
I don't approve
because we'll be going
of
back eventually.
that.
How many heads can the bag hold and fit?
If it was empty, a lot.
Quite a bit.
I am personally
so
interested in getting like the cheapest.
you kind of more or less have, a couple options. You can follow the path directly up. That's where the boots come from.
Might lead to an
You
entrance.
can try to look, like go off the road and look around for something else. Whether that's another trail or investigating just the area, you can do that. or you can wait for something. Any of those are viable. The question is, what do you want?
I think we should just follow the footprints backwards up the mountain because it probably comes out of where they're from.
There might also
Same.
be an entrance that they're coming in.
Why
from.
not?
They're coming out.
That's
from.
what I wanted to do.
So, go up the path?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you disappointed you wanted that sweet orc bounty?
We can get it later.
Hey, they'll come back.
Well, if we're following the loop tracks,
They'll have to
loop
go to
tracks or
Lumberman,
work
sorry.
tracks, then yeah, we will run into.
Everybody has to go home.
Okay. It's about 2 days of travel on horses. I mean, when you started, so. On the dawn of the third day, the path climbs up one last steep switchback toward a bare shoulder of rock. The hillside rises steeply on your right and drops away precipitously on your left. Debris and rubbish lie scattered over the last 100 yards or so. Discarded water skins, bits of charred bone, and splintered casks or kegs. Up ahead, the path opens onto a wide ledge and then doubles back sharply into the mountainside. Question is, how are you approaching?
This is probably their active area.
Sneaky horse.
You guys gonna try to sneak up?
Yes.
Good drive.
I believe in you, horse.
On a horse?
I just assume
Tie fabric to their hooves so that they don't clap.
Yeah, I can't. Really.
You can still make the roll. I mean,
Yeah.
it's up to you. If you want to try to sneak up, you're gonna have to get off your horses and like walk them in.
Get off your high horse.
Riding horses is kind of loud.
Yeah.
Clop, clop.
Is the area actually treacherous for the horses?
No, it's wide enough that you can get up there with the horses and stuff.
Okay.
I saw a guy on a horse.
Then again,
earlier
you're
today.
getting up towards the mountain, so if you
Someone
want to
was
stash
also
your
wearing
horses
flip-flops.
somewhere safe, you can try to do that as well.
Horses don't really do well on mountains.
Unless it's Skyrim.
Well, yeah.
So
No,
did you
that's
want
why I
to
said
leave
last
them
time,
at
you
your
know,
second day
ones.
camp?
Or a goat.
Because if you leave them with enough food, and also he's not here, but Carac bought a dog to basically watch the horses while you were in there.
Right.
What a neat idea.
Cool. Alright, I mean, I'm,
What a smart
I'm
boy,
down with doing
that
that.
Carac.
You guys want to do that?
Okay, sure.
What did we name the dog?
You mean
Well, it's his dog,
Yeah.
so it's what he named it. You
Oh.
can buy your own dogs. If you look in the PHP, there's
That's
an entry for mastiffs. You can buy them.
What did he name the dog?
I don't know. He said he was
Mastiff.
still deciding it. I'm sure he would have had it by today. But
This is my
he
dog.
ain't here. So unless I call him, it's like, what is the name of your dog?
Dog.
It's important.
doggy?
It's important for reasons.
I will name him Boy, for he is a good.
I named him
Okay,
Rex.
so if you're approaching up stealthily, give me stealth checks.
Let's see how well I roll.
Well, sorry, give me a group stealth check.
Oh, so just give you a number.
No, everyone roll and add stealth. If more people succeed than fail, then you guys succeed.
Oh, I'm in play mode, is it?
If you're in plate mail, you do roll with disadvantage.
Yeah.
You motherfucker.
1919.
Yeah. ahead.
Anyway, so
Whatever, that's
okay.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm sad.
Squig, what did you get?
That is a
Oh.
13, boss.
What did Asura get?
9.
What did Emron get?
18.
What did Thoradin get?
19.
And what did Greta get?
17.
Jeez.
It's really weird when you roll second to lowest.
I rolled like an 8.
That's funny.
Oh,
You clearly put off your game by everybody else being surprisingly sneaky. You're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I mean, despite Asura not being the stealthiest person in the world, the rest of you are just ghosts. As you approach, so everything I described before, 2 bestial humanoids in hide armor stand watch on the ledge. They appear inattentive and bored. They're arguing amongst them. Well, they're not arguing. They're discussing things amongst themselves. Do any of you speak Orcish?
Nope. That depends how close is that to Goblin.
You have Orcish?
Yeah.
Oh, go
Okay.
figure.
Thorin.
So you said goblin.
It's a new type of enemy. Actually, I've never fought orcs in any of our campaigns.
Wait.
If I remember correctly,
Or have we?
Go figure.
I don't know. I'd have to think about it. One orc says to the other, I don't know, Warg. I think it'd just be easier to leave. I mean, Ulfe takes all the treasure anyway. What are we even doing here? You sit here. You don't even get to go out on patrols. The other orc, Warg, apparently says, Thark, Ulfe may be dumb and ugly, but we're orcs. We raid and pillage. That's what we do. The first one turns back to him and says, but we don't. We're just sentries. Eating jerky, drinking piss wine, while Ulfi gets fat on all the towns. We have nothing. The second orc, Wark, the first one is Thark. Wark and Thark. Sorry, Wark says to Thark, yeah, it's unfair. But maybe Ulfi will die.
Die of the old consumption.
Thark says, even if he dies, we're not going to be chieftain. It's probably going to be one eye. Lark says, one eye's better than Ulfe. Their conversation is going to continue on like that for a while, just bitching about Ulfe. And basically bitching about how they can't go raiding because they're sentries and it sucks.
Although it would be hilarious
Sneak
too.
up directly behind them.
I
Could
don't
be worse.
necessarily. I don't want to hurt these guys, but it would be really funny to just summon the spike growth right there.
Oh, they're sitting on the ledge. I was just going to thunderstone. Well, I mean, it's straight.
Pretty loud.
That's
Con
loud.
save?
Yeah, it's a con save.
Let's just
so-
try to take them out really
They
quick.
probably have good con saves.
You guys gonna try to take them out quickly?
So strength guys.
Yeah.
Strength people can try and just.
So let's just all
And we
back attack
can do
them,
nothing.
since they're not paying attention.
So you guys are going for surprise?
I don't
Because they
want
haven't noticed you, so.
I don't
Yeah.
want to hurt
We
them. They
attack
seem
with,
nice.
attack with advantage.
Well, I don't
and
know
stuff.
that.
Yeah.
They're mad that they're not allowed to pillage more. I mean, how nice can they be?
Pillage and
Yeah.
kill
but
people.
I think you're forgetting where most of my heritage
Yeah, I
comes
know.
from.
I know.
It's in your blood. Sometimes you just gotta pillage.
So, what's the plan? We have some people for let's just beat 'em.
Bum rush them while they're not paying attention.
I want
Okay.
to do
Yeah.
one of
You
those.
guys actually want to try to push them off the ledge?
Well, no.
I don't
That would be dishonorable. We're just gonna attack them.
We also need their heads.
Okay, with ranged, or are you gonna run up to them?
Well, we're probably going to run up to them. The rest can do ranged.
Yes.
Well, I don't have ranged.
Yeah, you do.
Other
Then
than
you
Thorn
can
Whip,
do
which
what
holds
you
them
want.
closer?
Pull
That
them
still
into
doesn't-
one
Well,
of
then
these
you can
guys.
do melee if you want. If it's your only option.
Well, regardless, they don't know you're there, so you can make your attacks. They
Oh.
are surprised, so you will have advantage on this.
Use what the
So-
The thing is, if you run up towards them, you can't stealth run up towards them. You can try to sneak up on them, but that's going to require more checks as you get closer. There's also not exactly, like they are looking the other direction, but there's not a great place to hide.
Right.
So basically, you can try to sneak up and melee them, but that is going to give them chances to detect that you're there. Or you can just hit them with ranged weapons, which you would get they would be stuck with the surprise condition, which means you'd have advantage.
Does it look like they
Up to
have
you.
like a horn or like any type of like?
I mean, I do have a
signal
ranged
on
weapon.
thing on them.
Visible is good.
If I rushed at one, would that ruin the surprise of people using ranged attacks?
If they did ranged first and then you ran after, but then then they get initiative against you. So they might go before you if you do that.
So we would have to attack.
That's
the
fine
range.
by me.
If you don't care about them getting an initiative roll against you, you'd have to attack with ranged.
Right now, I'd like to use sacrifice.
Well, what are you gonna do?
I was gonna bust out and use a charge on the wand of entanglement.
I don't really know, because I don't really.
You could do more plants.
Actually, you know what? Never mind.
I could, but now that I
Oh,
think
shit.
about it, I only have the 2-second spell level slots. I don't want to use them on the first orcs.
Well, then Thorn Whip one of them. I mean,
Yeah.
that's your attack cantrip, right?
Well, that and Primal Savagery.
Oh, but then you'd have to run up for that.
Yeah. Thorn Whip it is.
Okay, so Thorn Whip, Bow, Sacred Flame, you're going to use the Wand of Entangle. What are you doing? Everyone else is using ranged.
Everyone?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. I guess I'll use my javelin.
Okay.
The
Roll
one
your
that didn't
attacks.
break.
You have advantage.
No, I have.
Except for you, they make a save against
I have
entangle.
6.
What did you get, and how much damage did Grenadier?
It was a 25 to hit
Hits.
with 10 damage.
Okay. And which one were you targeting, Wark or Thark? Wark. Okay. Are you targeting Wark or Thark? What did you get, and how much damage did you do?
That's what,
Split our efforts up.
yeah. So I'll go with the one Dave's doing, just because.
Okay, you're targeting Wark,
Yeah.
and
So
I got a 19,
that hits.
and I got a 2 damage.
2 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, do they get their dexterity saving throw, or what? Or not?
Oh, if they make a dex save, then you don't roll on the tackle.
No,
It's just
well-
they.
It says Sacred Flame right here, plus 4 attack bonus, so I thought that meant I roll.
Well, what does it say on your card?
It says a dexterity saving throw.
Then I wrote that thing down wrong. So you get the dex save. What's your spell difficulty?
This is a wizard spell, right? Wait,
Sorry,
12.
12.
Yeah.
Okay, he failed. So yeah, he takes that. Which one are you targeting? Amaron, Wark, or Thark?
I was gonna work.
Okay, and what'd you get?
25.
That hits. And how much damage did you do?
9.
9. Okay. And tell me, who did Asura target?
Thark.
And what'd you get?
23.
That hits. How much damage you do?
7.
7. Okay. And what do they roll against the entangle?
DC 13.
And what happens if they save?
If they save, I'm pretty sure. Cast spell, strength saving throw, be restrained, creature restrained. I guess nothing.
Okay. So
On success, it frees itself.
the group of you, but it becomes difficult to range, so it'll be harder for him to move. The group of you leap out of the shadows. Granna, with her bow, fires an arrow into Wark's chest, wounding him as he is struck almost simultaneously by Thoradin's glowing bolt of sacred flame delivered from Moradin himself, and a thorn whip which wraps itself around his arm and drags him to the ground. All of these attacks connecting basically one after the other kills him. He is shredded and bleeding and totally messed up. As all of this happens, from out of the shadows comes a javelin that strikes like into the arm of Thark, who shouts in pain.
Damn it.
Squig casts his uses his wand of entangle, create entangling vines. Thark, however, is a little too quick as he leaps out of the way and is unaffected. Although there are still vines and like brambles all around him. Well, more like roots, I guess. Yeah, so I am going to need
So close.
some initiative. Or, wait, no, I don't need initiative. You guys go first. You go later. So it is now his turn.
Right, because that's how surprise round works.
Yeah, it's a status now. It's not a, there's no surprise round, which is weird, but whatever.
So does that mean he spends his turn not being surprised anymore?
No, that's not how that works. He doesn't lose.
Okay.
It's just when you attack someone as a surprise condition, you have advantage.
Okay.
So, he goes.
Damn.
In Orcish, you understand as Thark shouts out, "Enemies at the south gate!"
Ah.
And he runs
Yeah,
straight
this didn't work.
out of the. He starts running out of the.
Pull it back to the vines.
Well, he's not in the dead center of it, but
Yeah.
he basically runs out of the entanglement and then starts running up the path.
How far away is he now?
Okay, so
This probably isn't going to be the easiest mission we got. Or like all out bloodbath until everything else is dead.
If only we had a third party member.
or a sixth party member.
Sixth party.
Or you have a ranger.
Oh man, I would love to have a third party member. This two-person adventure.
We got 1, 2, 5, 6, and 7.
Why would a ranger have changed what just happened?
An extra attack could have killed
Extra
him.
attack.
Because my thing did do damage.
I guess.
And then he wouldn't have had the chance to run off.
And warn people.
Well, whatever. I'm fine with that.
I'm shocked
if
that
you're-
you're fine with more
If you're
trading.
attacking an encampment, I'd prefer not to alert the entire camp.
Okay, we'll
It's more fun this way.
I don't want to die.
I mean, if
It's
you're
more
not
fun this way.
if you're
I
not built
don't
for
want to
combat, if
die.
you're not built for combat, then yeah, it's not more fun this way. For me, it's more fun this way.
Well,
I guess now would be a good
if
time
we can
to
somehow
summon
manage
those-
to kill like 30 orcs in one sitting, guess that wouldn't be bad.
I'll summon spikes. Then we'll just pull them all through it.
Squig and Emeron, you go first.
I'm gonna crossbow.
Also, he said that on stage,
Um,
so a lot of them pretty quick after his.
Let's see, 150
Oh.
feet is like
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
30
Does that work?
squares. Yeah, 30 squares.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's the best thing. I mean, I could throw a vial to ask. Vial has to do more damage. Crossbow.
Okay.
Crossbow.
I am going to cast Spike Growth.
Do you want to wait to see if this move works or not?
Well, he already shouted, so more are coming.
Well, maybe.
But yeah,
We're not sure yet.
we can see.
It's okay.
17.
It's
Excellent. Eight for damage. You also could. Is this like a gorge or like a chasm between the two paths? Ravine. Sorry.
I'm pretty sure
it's
he's more
just part where it's just part of the mountain where there's no like path.
Oh, okay. So if Enron rode Thorn Whip, it wouldn't just yoink. Just off him out.
Do it
He
for
doesn't have
Squig.
line of effect. Squig runs up around the path, pulls his crossbow, and nails Thark right in the back, which causes him to clutch his chest, fall over, and die.
Yay!
Now quickly,
Move your body!
use
Eat
your disguise
his
kit.
corpse!
Gain its power.
Eat his corpse! Eat his corpse!
Gain its power.
A little morbid, but okay. What do you do
Law
now?
of nature.
Just hide his corpse.
Are people coming? Did they
You
hear
gonna
him?
listen?
Yeah. Listen or look.
Roll perception.
17.
You don't hear anything. You don't see anything. 17 and... Or did you not make a perception? Sorry, who made perception? Was it just you?
I guess
Yeah.
so.
Okay. You don't hear anything for a second until you hear like a muffled sound of like a flit through the air.
Oh no.
Shit! I think we're getting shot, unless they miss. Hopefully they shoot again and miss.
Nope. Get wrecked, nerd.
Oh. Damn.
Squig is bombarded by arrows.
16 is not bad. Well, I mean, maybe.
Who knows? They might be coming up from behind.
Okay. So, from over here in this area, arrows are loosed. Squig takes one to the arm for 7. One barely misses Emerald. One strikes into Thoradin for 4. And one strikes Grenna's armor before bouncing off. Yeah. What do you do now? Emerald, it's your turn.
Is there like natural cover?
Okay, so that's what the rest of the path more or less looks like. Although you do not see the archers, the arrows are coming from up in this area. There is no cover between here and there.
Not even a bit of fog? I can hide anywhere.
Okay, so you want to try to roll stealth using your...
Not sure you can use from mountainside.
That
Okay.
is cliff.
Oh.
Guess I'll roll. Pop out. So it's... What does it have to be?
Any light natural phenomenon. So like a few rocks, I guess. The examples like mist or a few branches.
Right, but it has to roughly cover you. This morning is... I'll say as you approach, it started to rain. So if you want to try to use that to roll a stealth check, you may. So roll stealth.
Nice 17.
Okay. You are hidden from them.
Yes.
It's the rest of your turn.
Oh, going into the top.
Would I be able to see them coming up those stairs from there, or no?
You mean coming down the stairs?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because it's going up.
Yeah, would I be able to see them coming down the stairs?
From where you are? No, you'd have to go to where Squig is.
I'm just gonna stay here.
So you're just gonna hide out there?
At least until somebody else starts moving.
Okay. Well, you can't delay action there with that, so. If you
But I mean, by the time it gets to my turn again.
Okay. Gwenna, it's your turn.
I don't have arrows.
Cool.
No, they know.
Well, no, that's why I'm hiding.
So, just to double check, you said we can't see the archers yet.
No, you cannot see the archers, but you know they're coming from up here. They came from this direction.
I'm debating currently between double moving or moving a little and then trying to spot one and shoot at one. Ultimately, we've decided to double move.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay. Grenna spends her turn charging up the mountain path. It is now Ashura's turn.
I'm going to do the same.
No, you went up and shot the guy with the crossbow.
Well, there's no other way to get up here fast, and there's nothing out for attack from the pace, so.
What was a positive sound effect?
Okay. Ashura waits down the path as well. Thorian, is your action. Okay, you're gonna double move. You have 25 movement, so you can move 10 squares. Your first diagonal only counts as 1, but if you diagonal again after that, it counts as 2.
So
So yeah, that'd be 5. And then if you diagonal again,
You can just move
that'd be
here.
15. And then 20. Well, you could have diagonaled that past Squig.
oh, here.
Yeah, and that would be 30. No, to here.
Here.
Here. 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Okay. You also run up the path. Granted, there's an arrow flying at ya. But this one misses you. Squig, it's your turn.
This right here, is this just empty space out here, or is there like a little bit of wall right here?
This is where the wall starts. This is just a little bit of cliff.
So if the wall starts here, over here, that might count as like low cover. If somebody's like here. If this part right here
No,
is
this
a wall,
is
over
this.
here-
Sorry, this isn't a wall. I meant this is like a.
Oh, like
This. This is all open area
Okay.
from what you can see. Once you get up there,
Okay. Then
yeah, this would get covered from here if that's what you're asking.
okay. Stop right there. What is the like basically preparing yourself from an attack? Is it advantage or like bonus to AC or something?
Are you talking about the dodge action?
Yes.
If you take the dodge action, that gives all attacks gets you disadvantage to your next turn.
Okay, but I can't move. Can I move and then do that?
Yeah, but you can't double move because.
Yeah. Actually, I'll do that then.
Then I think I'm gonna do that.
20, 25.
Because I was thinking
Yeah.
about doing
So
it.
30 and then dodge.
Yes.
Okay.
I was thinking about doing another double move, but that sounds better if I do the 6 and then dodge it.
Okay. Emron, it's your turn.
Same. I don't want to get hit. Okay.
Well, your
We'll run
thing,
up there.
really, your thing top if you move.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm hiding somewhere.
Well, if you want to stay in, you have to move past speed. You can't run full speed.
So 15,
I don't
15 feet.
think. So you have 14 squares because of your increased speed. Do you want me to just leave you up? 14
Yeah.
squares? Okay.
We're fast.
4, 5, 5, 6, 7,
Too fast, too quick.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, that is that. It is now Granda's turn.
Sweet. In for a penny, in for a pound, get a double move again.
In which we all just run in.
I think it's because we showed the guy who's already doing it. And I guess if they're
Okay,
before,
so hold on.
then feel free to stop.
You were here when we hit 6, right?
We started here.
Started-
Started here.
Yeah.
You were up 10, 15, 20, and 25. So.
So you were here.
Yeah. 30.
Okay, once you're here, you see 2 walls on either side. You don't see any enemies, and you see that this right here is a large barred double door. It's a large stone door. What do you do? Because that was just your first move.
That's weird. Enemies in here.
You don't see any.
Higher up, or maybe right behind the door. So it's just a door?
Just look.
No archers. Five.
Shallow steps lead up through a steep fissure to the south and turn east into the mountainside. Here a broad entranceway has been carved out of stone. Marble steps cracked with age and veiled with green moss lead up to a strong double door of carved stone, 8 feet wide and almost 10 feet tall.
Okay.
Instead of taking the second move, I am actually going to take the dodge action, thinking that maybe there are some people hidden in the ruby of themselves.
Okay, you take the dodge action.
The door's closed, then like it's not really there, so.
An arrow comes from this wall, strikes into your armor, and bounces off. They're in the walls!
Sick. From it?
Yeah, from the wall.
Like there's no slit? It goes through me?
Well, you don't see one, but that would require a perception check to like look.
Where? On the next turn or something.
Okay, that is that turn. So it is now. Another arrow comes at you, Grana, but strikes the ground.
There were 5 arrows before. It's either 5 assailants or 1 really good archer. Nothing in between.
No, it's clearly one archer.
Sure, it's your
taking
turn.
5 turns.
I move up 6 and take the dodge action as well.
Move up and take the dodge action. An arrow flies out at you, but strikes your shield. It is now Thornton's turn.
I move up 5 and take the dog action.
I'm seeing the theme here.
Just your offices.
What?
Squig, it's your turn.
There's an enemy.
Oh wait, sorry. Sorry. Question real quick. Who didn't take the dodge action last turn that isn't Emerald? Basically, I'm asking, did you take the dodge action?
That was the first one.
Oh, you're the first one to take the dodge action? So all 4 of you are dodging except for Emerald?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's stealth.
I know.
So,
I'm not dumb.
No, I'm not.
She?
I will remind you, she is stealth.
She?
Yeah, Caitlin is stealth.
Sorry, I'm a very manly, virile man.
Fair. Manliest man to ever man across these manlands.
He just
Man.
he smells
What a
bourbon and the belts of your father and nails.
Good
I don't know what
name,
dads
Gaston.
smell like, but whatever dads smell like, he smells just
Cigars.
Aftershave.
I don't know.
like ashes.
There you go.
Sadness.
How would I know?
Sadness.
No.
Yeah, I know. You and me. A lot of dead dads at this table.
Oh god.
An overwhelming amount of dead father at
There
this
you
table.
go. If we ever decide to play Heroes again, we could all just play multiple versions of Batman. Just-
But my
Well,
mom's
has to be
alive.
both. Yeah, it has to be
Yeah.
both our parents.
I think there's one where.
Yeah, the three of
One of
us. Sorry, Ed. The three of us still have moms. Well, they also have moms too, but it's not. Besides the fucking point.
They
Well,
weren't
you
even
could-
in the club.
They weren't even in the club. They have both
Get
their
out of
parents.
here. You could be.
Caitlin actually has some extra parents. She has 3.
Oh, you're the worst. And in no way is that its own struggle. You're
Not
the worst.
even-
Get out of here.
Not only do you have parents, you have backup parents.
Can I borrow one of your dads?
You won't be one.
One of them doesn't count. He's in Sacramento and I haven't seen him since not last Christmas, but the one before that.
Fair enough.
That's
Well, I was just
sweet.
messing around. Yeah, he's a free agent.
Yeah, I guess if you want him, you can have him.
Dad for hire.
Sorry, Dad, if you see this somehow.
I was just starting around.
Somewhere in Sacramento, we'll see all.
You know what? This sounds like something he'd say.
Anyway, it is. Yeah, Granted, there's an arrow magic, but this is another shot and then a missed. Squig, it's your turn.
Need to maybe open this door.
5, 6.
A disturbing thought occurs. He actually could be dead and I'd never know.
No.
Unless I texted him.
That's
Who
fair.
texted
I assume.
that?
Well, they would notify his
Yeah, I'll take
next of kin, whoever's
Dodge
his card,
action from there.
which if he has any other kids he's closer to would be that, or it might just be your mom, just because you put your. Sometimes you put your ex-spouse on the thing just because.
Oh, I think he has a current spouse.
Oh, okay. But then
Well, how secretive is
I
your
would
current
like to
spouse is what
imagine-
it boils
I
down
don't
to.
think she knows how to contact us.
She just, yeah.
maybe.
So you have a backup for your backups.
No. Anyway, Ed, what are you doing?
I don't know, they're
There.
probably
Yeah,
not
I'm
ready.
gonna take the dodge action. If I don't see nothing, so I
You
gotta
see nothing?
besides the door.
Dodge action. Yeah, the only thing you see is the door. You can also look around. You have to take an action to roll a perception check in combat.
What I'm actually thinking of doing is go when I get to the door, spending that, see if I can inspect or see if there's anything I can fiddle with or fuck around with.
He wants to fiddle
But I feel like
That's
I still
fine,
have to be
that's fine.
closer to the door.
Yeah, you're not closer to the door to
Okay.
inspect it. Emerald, it's your turn.
I'm just gonna continue on my. Well,
Going where?
Your invisible ways.
This is one.
I might just stay. I don't want to really quite go up to the door, but just stay within range of everybody in case they get hit.
So where?
Yeah, just in the middle of them.
Okay, you still have an action.
I cast fireball.
Because that was only 3 squares of movement to get there.
Can I use a perception check to see if I can find out where the arrows are coming from?
Yes, you can. Roll me perception.
9. Unless I use my passive.
You do not see in combat. You can't use your passive. You do
Oh.
not see the where the arrows are coming from.
Well, I'll get them next time.
Granted, it's your turn.
Sweet. I would like a perception check. See if I can figure out what's
Roll
going on.
perception.
We're so perceptive today.
They're orcs with greater invisibility.
7.
You don't see.
I think there might be.
What do you do with the rest of your turn?
9.
No, they're just painted to look like the wall.
Like movement ones?
Yeah.
Orcs and listed chameleon people. There might be chameleon race. I don't know.
So they're rainbow.
Can't take a move. I'm not afraid of the wall. The wall should be afraid of me.
Actually, no. Once you're up here, some of the arrows are coming from this side too. They're moving both.
God damn it. Whatever.
Can you still use a dodge action?
No, because he was his action to look around. Those are both actions. Okay. I don't know why.
You need to go fiddle with that door, Ed.
See, I'm gonna move up there, initiate the dodge action. Wait
Reno,
for
one
everybody to cover
an
me.
arrow flies
Me and
at you
Brent will
from
stay
here
in
but
front of you.
misses. And another arrow flies at you from here but strikes your armor. It is now
Shaman missed. Would grab the
Asura's
arrow. Missed.
Either pretty lucky so
Sure.
far.
I guess I'll move to the left side of the wall. And,
Around?
Sure, roll me perception.
Use your special dragon eyes.
What do you see? Nothing.
I see shit.
5.
You don't see anything either.
Comb the desert.
You know the arrows are coming from the wall.
Comb the wall.
Should just use the dodge action.
Watch that movie again.
Spaceballs.
It's been way too long.
Request for more money.
Yeah, when is that?
An arrow strikes at your shield. It is now Thoradin's turn.
Hey, you might know how to fuck with that door. Through history.
Yeah, you are dwarven.
Yeah. Let's assume that's not made by orcs.
I don't think orcs are known for their stone carving.
Yeah, so
Now, as a dwarf, you know that instead of having like a lock or anything on the door, okay. Let me rephrase. Due to your knowledge, you know that this is not like locked or anything. It's probably just like barred with a heavy thing. So the only way you're going to get it open is by forcing it open. It's going to require pretty extreme strength to get open. But, you know, it's possible.
I have a portable ram.
As a push.
what kind of
I
door
could
is this?
turn into a
What?
Stone.
It's got a better strength score than I do.
Yeah, it's a large stone double door, 8 feet wide, 10 feet tall. And it will require pretty extreme force to get through. Yeah. Yeah, what's your action?
You said there's cover on this side?
If you move here,
Yeah.
you would have cover, yes.
Yeah, Alright.
But to get there would be a double move.
Move 5. I'll take the dodge action.
Okay, so you were here, so I'm going to 5 dodge. Missed. Squig, it's your turn. There's an arrow that flies on towards Asura but doesn't even get close.
Well, next action.
Oh, knowing that, would you have said anything?
Yeah, I should say something. Can I say something that I'm not sure?
Yeah, you can say something.
It's going to take a tremendous amount of force to break down that door.
past it.
You sounding real casual for having arrows fly at you.
Yeah.
Which one are you?
I'll get that door open one way or another.
Well, the portable ram gives you a +4 on checks using it, and if somebody else helps you, you gain advantage. Yes.
I was gonna ask if I could use Shadow Spike, if that would help.
Oh!
Because
Well, that would be a totally different thing. Instead of forcing the door open, you would be trying to break the door using Shadow Spike.
Would that be easier?
Depends.
Would I roll it as a attack?
Yeah, you would be rolling attacks against the door and wearing down its hit points. Whereas trying to force the door open, you would be making a strength check to try to get it open, which in theory means you can get it open in one roll.
Okay.
But if you fail,
Because then we're just fighting against the bar instead of.
well, no, it's more just with hit points. It's going to take multiple hits unless you think you're going to do so much damage to bust it open.
You're gonna get some broken parts though.
I won't be able to mend it.
Okay. I guess we'll use the ram to. Me and Greta can use the ram. Since it'll grease it by 4 and give us both advantage.
Well, I could actually assist you because it doesn't say who it is. Whoever's the main person using it gets +4, and somebody
Yes,
else.
but Greta has a higher strength score.
I think you're saying it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'll move up there and.
get the ram out.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be an action. Shit.
Yeah, so your movement and then your action would be pulling the ram out of the bag of holding.
Yeah, that's gonna have to be my turn.
You get
Okay.
this.
It is now Emerald's turn.
idea.
Squig runs up, pulls a portable ram out of his magic bag and says he has an idea.
Okay. I'm gonna move 2 squares to
Summon,
the
you summon the spikes
left
in the
wall.
walls.
What is the rest of your turn?
Perception.
Okay,
Still
well,
trying to find the archers.
give me a perception check.
22.
It's better.
So about 15 feet up. On each wall. There are arrow slits here. And here.
Hmm. I can't really point out without revealing myself, can I?
If you speak, your staff will be broken, obviously. Well, the fact that you're hiding just. Oh, actually, there's no rain in here because there's cover. So stealth is broken just coming into your area.
Damn.
Oops.
Alright.
Sorry, I should have mentioned that.
Then I will point them out.
Where the hell did this elf come from?
Amaron points towards the arrow slits. They're 15 feet up on the wall here and here. Yeah, it is now Greta's turn.
Neat.
I was really tempted to fire for first hack.
That solves that mystery. Unfortunately, I don't think something I could really do.
Shove your sword in the hole and be like, come here. Come here, you little fox.
Well, yeah, that crossed my mind. That's silly. The only person who can do that and make it look good is Spear King Bradley. I am not. I was shotgun that from one of my characters in something.
Move up to the
I'm
battering ram.
going to just go ahead and prepare to help with the battery. That's all.
Excuse me, princess.
How nice it must be to be able to reach.
Well, if you'd rather sit over here, I can switch it.
No.
I don't know what else you want me to do about it.
I want a thing longer.
You don't have a
Yeah, that's
there.
So then, since the ram is out, we're gonna be able to just grab it and use it.
Well, if you don't want to wait for a shirt to help you, you can try to grab it and use it.
I think I already used my
Use
turn
your
to pull it
action.
out.
I will wait. I know how sturdy it is.
Alright.
This will be a team effort.
It is now
sun cover from the other side of the ground, right?
An arrow comes from this wall and barely hits the door above Squig. And you hear, or actually, the walls are too thick for you to hear anything in the wood.
They got
You
holes
hear
in them.
muffled noises.
Your rocks.
Yeah, but it's not enough. An arrow is coming for Asura, but this is. How's it just rolling that?
I noticed. To the point where I thought maybe this was supposed to be a secret clue about something that happens later.
Our phantom
They're
arrows.
missing a
They're
lot.
blind.
Maybe we can find out
Asura, it's your
some crazy stuff.
Alright, I move up to the ramp.
They're blind archers.
Prepare.
No, but they did out.
Unless we can do that now if we prepared to
No. You guys can do it now.
Okay.
So,
Advantage.
you roll
plus
with
4.
advantage and a +4. A strength check. You don't have to roll anything. Just
Okay.
So, yeah, roll at strength +4 and with advantage.
21.
You and Grunna grab the battering ram, lean back, and you hit the door. And after a single strong hit, you hear the fracturing of wood as the door open.
Huh.
Come on. Deleted that door.
Now,
We did.
from inside, you hear the shouting of orcs.
I mean, I kind of did just shut out my plan, didn't I?
Particularly, Thoradin, you hear, "They're inside! Prepare!" And you hear the sounds of enemies moving towards you. However, that is where I'm going to call it this week. Next week, we're going to
Cliffhanger.
take off
That's pretty good to start the call,
from
actually.
there.
That means the next go around space.
Insert
Comedy
to be continued.
nonstop.
Sound of orcs and footsteps are heavy. I hope you all enjoyed the session, and if you didn't, then I hope everyone watching enjoyed the session as well. I, of course, am your dungeon master, Marvelous. You can find me on Lights Camera Initiative, the Twitter for us. Additionally, David, tell the people where they can find you. And why don't you tell people how, what you think about the session?
Artist David Harper on Instagram and Twitter. And it's pretty cool. There's some fun interaction.
Yeah. Makes noise. Okay. Jeff, you don't have any social media. Why don't you tell the people what you thought? Where is Thoradin? What's going on in his head?
First day.
He's looking to get some more kids.
Alright.
It's that there are orcs defiling his people's homestead.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay. Caitlin, why don't you tell people where they can find more of you and, give us some insight into what's going on with everyone.
He does not want to kill the orcs. You can find me on Twitter at Gobbitses.
Okay. Sid?
I'm just really looking forward to seeing if this is just going to be one long, drawn-out bloodbath with no in-betweens, or not.
Well, that's what you wanted.
I guess.
At the end of the last recording, you said, I want a big
want more
fucking knockdown,
enemies.
drag
You
out.
asked for this.
I didn't say that.
Well,
I just said I want more enemies.
and
I think I remember if I said that.
Ed.
Really double thinking if this was a good idea.
That's good. That's fine. You're not dead yet.
Nonsense.
All right, cool.
This is true.
Yeah. David, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Jeff, say goodbye.
Bye.
Kevin, say goodbye. Sid, say goodbye.
Bye.
Ed, say goodbye.
Bye.